Okay, so this is lesson 5.5, and this is the share and show. So I'm going to help you with the directions first. For the first one, it says use the quick picture. They already drew it over here to help you find 5 times 40. Okay, so they have the picture of 5 times 40 with these 10 sticks. Okay, and they showed you how to take 5 groups of 40 and change them into what? So you should be able to know that this is 100, this is 100, and if you have 2 of them, what would that be? The next one says find the product, use your base 10 blocks, or draw a quick picture. So you're going to need paper, or you can draw it on the side over here. Okay, so you need to draw a picture that looks like this or like this up here. And the last one is finding the product. You can use yesterday's strategy, or you can use the earlier strategy we have from today up here where I showed you with those arrows. I'm going to show that arrow right now to remind you that the first step is take the number of groups, which is at the bottom, and multiply it by the ones. Then take the number of groups and multiply it by the tens. Okay? Okay, so try those ones by yourself and then come back to see how you did. All right, for number 1, 5 groups of 40, which is like 4 tens here. So I remember that 5 groups of 40, this is 5 groups here, 5 groups here. So these together would make 100, and then 5 groups here, 5 groups here. 5 plus 5 is 10, so that would make another 100. So 100, 200. Good job if you got that. All right, the next ones, we're going to draw these. I'm going to draw it on paper because it is not going to work if I draw it down here. Okay, so my first step for number 2, 7 times 30 is 7 groups of 30. So I'm going to show you as close as I can here. My 7 groups of 30, right? I have 7 rows of 30. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to circle groups of 10 because 10 tens is like 100. Okay, so once I circle groups of 10, I counted out 10 and made it into 100, and then another 10 and made it into 100, and then I had one little 10 left. So now you have to say, well, how much is that? We count by hundreds for these, 100, 200, and then 10, 210. So let me do the same thing for this one. 2 groups of 90. Ooh. Okay, here is my 2 groups of 90, and now I'm gonna take away 10 tens at a time to make hundreds. All right, so I was able to make 100, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tens left. So 180. All right, and the next one, 8 times 40, 8 groups of 40. All right, here's my 8 groups of 40. Those sticks, remember, are like really quick ways of doing 10 sticks. Okay, and now I'm going to circle them in groups of 10. Okay, so now I was able to get 3 groups of 10. So 10 tens is 100, so 3 hundreds, and then there are 2 tens left over. 320. Okay, last one, 4 times 60. So let me draw it. Here you go. Trying to get as close as I can. 4 groups of 60, and now let me circle groups of 10 out of there. Okay, so now I have these 10 made 100, these 10 made 100, and then there were 4 tens left over. So 100, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 240. Okay, last row. These ones, you can draw them if you'd like to, or you can try them with the just paper and pencil strategy algorithm steps. So I would start with the 9 and multiply my ones. 9 groups of 0 ones is 0 ones. Oop, let me do that in purple so you can see the matching color here. Okay, and then I go to the 9 again because I still have 9 groups of 8 tens. 9 groups of 8 tens is 72 tens, but 72 tens is really 720. So then you have to like add 0 plus 720, which is 720. Okay, and the other way you can think of it with our base 10 today, 72 tens, you can take 10 7 groups of 10, which would be like 700s, and then 2 tens would be left over. So that'd be like 2 tens or 20. So let's try that again with this one. Oh, I didn't do the right colors again. Keep forgetting to switch the colors here. 720. And then when you multiply the ones, or sorry, add the ones answer with the tens answer, it gives you 720. Okay, so let me switch back to my purple. I start with my number of groups, which is 7, and I multiply it by the ones. 7 groups of 0 ones is 0. And then I'm going to go back to the same number of groups, but now I'm going to multiply it by the tens. 7 groups of 7 tens is like 49 tens, and 49 tens is 490. And then if you add those together, it's 490. All right. 4 groups of 0 ones is 0. 4 groups of 9 tens is 36 tens, and 36 tens is 360. So if you got 360, very good. And the last one, 8 groups of 0 ones is 0. 8 groups of 6 tens is 48 tens. 48 tens is really like 480. 480 plus 0 is still 480. So your product is 480. So if you were able to get those, very good job. If you were a little struggling on those, at least hopefully you heard my explanation as I was doing it through the examples. So you'll be able to do better on the on your own part.